Hi guys! Today I'm baking this Vietnamese dessert. Some people call it a traditional Vietnamese snack. This cassava cake is so delicious and always a crowd favorite. I can't go to a party without it, and everyone expects me to bring a few of these cakes so they can take some home. Today I'm going to show you the secret to making it soft on the inside with a light crunch on the outside. Before I start, if you're new to my channel and haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video. Alright, let's begin. I'm using 2 packages of grated cassava. These are frozen and have been defrosted in the fridge overnight. There are a few different brands available, and any of them will work just fine. First things first, I need to cut these 2 bags open and set up my supplies to get things going. After that, it's easy. I will also need a cheesecloth bag like this one. If you don't have it, that's fine too. You can work with what you have. Next, set up your working area with 2 large bowls like this. Now, take your cheesecloth bag, place it over the bowl, and transfer the cassava into the bag. I have small hands, so I'm doing this in batches. Once the cassava is in, squeeze out the excess liquid, but don't squeeze it completely dry. Transfer the squeezed cassava to the other bowl, then repeat the same process until both bags are finished. Let's do one more illustration. Removing the woody core after grating. While these strands are edible, they're pretty tough. I'm picking out as many as possible to keep the texture perfect. Check out this piece. This is exactly what you want to avoid. Here's another one. And another one. Try to remove as many as you can, but don't spend too much time on it. I usually give myself about 2 minutes and take out as many as possible within that time. Let's go back to the first bowl of liquid. We are going to let this bowl sit on the counter untouched for about 30 minutes. By letting it sit, the pure natural starch will sink to the bottom into a hard white layer. While we wait, let's go back to the other bowl and start adding the ingredients. I'm using 1 full can of this coconut milk. About 50 milliliters of condensed milk. A 1/4 cup of white sugar. I'm keeping it light on the sugar, but if you prefer it sweeter, you can increase it to 1/2 cup. A teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. A 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. 2 drops of yellow food coloring. This is optional. However, I like using it because it gives the cake a beautiful golden color. Let's pour off and discard the water. The water tastes bitter, which is partly why we go through the process of squeezing it out. The starch that sinks to the bottom is the secret to making the cake chewy and bouncy without it tasting bitter. This is the white starch we're talking about. Let's scrape it into the cassava bowl. Now, let's give this a good mix, making sure everything blends well together. Next, grab an 8 by 8 inch baking dish and grease it with butter or oil. Make sure you coat it all over. Then, line the baking dish with parchment paper and grease the paper too. Now let's pour the cassava mixture into the baking dish. Give the baking dish a little shake to spread the cassava evenly. Cover the dish with plastic wrap so that when it's steaming, no water gets inside. There, let's put this into the steamer. I've already started the steamer, and now let's put the cassava in, cover it, and let it cook for 45 minutes. This step is crucial to keeping the cake soft and chewy. Don't skip it. After 45 minutes, it looks like this. Take it out of the steamer and remove the plastic wrap. Then place it in the oven and bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 40 minutes. After 35 minutes, this is how it looks. Once it's out of the oven, let it sit on the counter to cool, and this usually takes about an hour. Once the cake has cooled completely, run a butter knife around the edges to loosen it from the baking dish. Once that's done, slide a butter knife underneath the cake and gently lift it to release it from the bottom of the dish. This ensures the cake comes out smoothly without sticking. Now, perform a freehand flip straight onto the board. I've done this so many times that I'm completely confident with the process. If you prefer, however, you can place a cutting board over the baking dish and invert it quickly to release the cake safely. As you can see, I've wrapped my knife in plastic wrap. Cassava is very sticky, so this prevents the cake from clinging to the blade. It makes cleanup a breeze and, more importantly, ensures every slice is a nice, clean cut. Check out the final result. It's incredibly soft and flexible. You get that signature chewy interior paired with a lovely golden crunch on the crust. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and give it a try soon. Thank you so much for baking with me, and I'll see you in the next video.